All right, so what's up, guys? It's gonna be a straight video, basically, no editing because my app is not working right now. So for last week we took a win, like it was basically a profitable week, right? I did do some explaining, but no video uploaded of it. So we definitely made some profits last week. Not nothing crazy, but definitely some profits were made. And this week, probably we can do something crazy. So right now we have one, two, three, four pairs that we're interested in for this week, right? And the first one we're gonna start off with is USD CHF. So here on USD CHF on the weekly time frame, right? This market is currently bearish. We had a shifter structure around here, right? And that shifter structure is then what made the market bearish on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see that we're actually bearish here as well. So from this point, we have two time frames in sync, that is the weekly and daily. We go into the 4 hour time frame, we're also bearish. So we have three time frames in sync. This is us. This is really, really amazing because we have the higher time frames all lining up together, all of them in one trend of the market, which is the bearish market. So that being said, this is amazing for a sell. Now, this trade might take some time because we have to retest this EF interest right here to then continue to the downside, right? We need a pullback after every big move in order to continue to the downside or to the upside. So in this case, we're talking about downside, right? In order for this market to continue pushing down, we need a retest of this EF interest. And here on the week time frame, if I should go on the line, so the line chart here, you can see that we have, sorry about that. You can see that we have a left head, right shoulder, that's a head and shoulders pattern. Now, this pattern can be used to sell in this case. If it was a case where this same pattern was inverted, then we could use it to buy. For example, down here, right? You have the left, you have the head, you have the shoulder, and then this would be a head and shoulders, but it's just that it's inverted and this one is not. So it's basically the same thing, but one is inverted and one is not. And then what we would need here is a basically a retest of this area of interest to then, well, a retest of the head and shoulders to then continue to upside. There's no real area of interest here, so that is why I corrected myself. Now, back to the candles. So as I was saying, right, is a head and shoulders pattern. We need a retest of this head and shoulders pattern to continue downside. This EF interest here is valid. We have one, two. We have three touches within here, right? In the day time frame, it is also valid EF interest. So that being said, we are now focusing on the retest to actually sell this trade. But what I plan to do here is that I plan to take this for a buy at the start of the week. So when the market reopens, right, I'm gonna literally take this for a buy if I get the opportunity to do so. The reason for that is because I'm predicting the pullback. I want to buy with the pullback, right? So I believe that this trade should have pullback back into this EF interest up here. That being said, that is why I want to take the trade from here as a buy to go up here and close out within this area of interest to then take this from here to come down for a sell. So that is why I have buy here and I have sell over here because officially this trade should be a sell. So basically I'm going against the trend, which means this is a degenerate trade or a degenerate trade. Right? We have the left head, right shoulder. This is the inverted head and shoulders pattern that I was just talking about. So what I would need here is basically a retest within this area of interest or a pullback within this area of interest to basically take the trade to the upside. But what I would need also is like an engulfing kind of stake from here or just something, some type of entry in order to take this trade. Because if I do not get a entry in the right time zone as well, then I won't be taking this because this is very risky. So I don't need to make it any riskier by basically not waiting for engulfing or just the things that are needed in order to take this trade. So therefore, this is what we're looking for too. So this would be a start off as a buy and then as a sell. So this is one of my favorite periods for the week right now. So yeah, very much interested in this. What's the next thing now? Next pair, let's go to CHFJPY. So here, this trade is valid, really, really valid, right? And I love it. So this pair could be a pair that literally could move on Monday. This could be a fast pair to the downside. So I could take this on Monday night, right? And basically on Monday morning, and basically like go from there to the downside. So let's look at this. On the weekly time frame, we are bearish. On the daily time frame, we are also bearish. On the 4 hour time frame. So the thing is now with this candle here, I could just bypass it and then say it's also bearish because typically this kind of stick doesn't really change anything, right? It doesn't really affect the trend. It doesn't really create any real structure like this. So this time frame doesn't really do much, honestly, right? In a case like this does more because we have a retest of the year of interest and then we have a slowdown. This closes a doji kind of stick to where so that we have a engulfing, basically even start formation. So this does real thing to the market. This beer does anything. This beer does anything. So therefore I could bypass this. But let's say, right, this is bullish. We have hello, high, hello, high, high. So we're bullish right now in four, right? Just to say that. Regarding, right, to the fact that we're bullish there, we're bullish on tour as well. But what I'll be waiting for here is for when price reopens, right? I'm expecting price to pull back somewhere within like this year. I don't know, probably like within the air finches or something. But I expect price to pull back up here because the weekly, right? The weekly need at least like copy this small week here. This week here from here, I expect the weekly to do some type of um copying of that week to then proceed to the downside, right? So therefore, price is gonna have a pullback. When that wick is being created, we're gonna have a pullback on the 30 minutes time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, for example. So when that happens, I'm gonna be looking into the market and see what I need to do. Cause this right now on the 1 hour, we have a double top formation, top one, top two, or a retest, and then we have a break and then we have a retest, right? So this basically could be a area of interest, but I'm not ready as yet because I said we need to see what's going to go on here, right? This is basically a trend like USD CHF, but there's just that lower time frames are not that promising. We're going to take in the straight to downside. So it's not that ready as yet. USD CHF look more ready than this in regarding to the buy, right? But regarding to the sell, then this is way ahead of USD CHF because this is ready to go down. But just that the lower time frames are not giving any promises regarding to this trade. So let's see what's gonna happen on Monday. But yeah, we're looking to sell this trade, right? And we could take this from here back to all the way down here, like literally because we have beer, air of interest here, no really slow, nothing to really slow price down, right? This might be the only potential area where price could slow down, but even then, we're supposed to be creating a lower low. So from here, we should break this area, comes from we down here. So this could be like a big trade, depending on how I take it. So say for example, my spot was like something like that. We could literally hold all the way down here. So this is a trade that I am really, really interested in as well. We could make a lot of profit off this, risking a low amount. So really taking this into consideration. If I catch this move to the downside, we're literally golden. We could be like 1 or 2 weeks ahead, literally. All right. Next trade, EURNZD.